Welcome to Migration 101 with Sam and Bean. My name is Sam, Director of EduQ Pty Limited. Today we'll be discussing about migrations, helps and topics with different topics and tips with Bean. So Bean is a registered migration agent as well as Director of Affinity Migration and partnered with EduQ Pty Limited for migration visa process purpose. Thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So as you know, that there are a lot of issues and around migration related specific stuff in Australia right now. And one of the hot topics which is I think about 2 to 3 weeks ago, spread out that government wants to force migrants to settle in regional areas. Is it true?
Well, it's interesting. I've heard in the news also. Yep. So I guess right now it is just in the news, and what they're trying to do is to encourage people to live outside cities such as Melbourne or Sydney.
Okay.
And from my perspective, it'll probably affect those who are more relying on state nomination. But if you're doing a skilled independent visa, then perhaps it really won't affect you. So until it becomes legislation, then it really is just news.
Is there any specific criteria when it comes to choosing specific regional areas, or what regional area people should focus on?
So each state is quite different, so their needs for occupations would also be quite different. For example, Western Australia is a mining town, so they would have a different requirement in terms of occupations compared to New South Wales, Queensland. So really, again, I would say look at what occupation you're studying and see which state it would be easier or is more receptive to these skills.
I see. So what you're suggesting is not necessarily you have to leave New South Wales just due to the fact that you have to move out to regional areas. There are a lot of regional areas within New South Wales as well.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, that's really great. Also, are there some states that it's easier to get nominations in terms of migration than other states or regional areas?
So each state is quite different, so their needs for occupations would also be quite different. For example, Western Australia is a mining town, so they would have a different requirement in terms of occupations compared to New South Wales, Queensland. So really, again, I would say look at what occupation you're studying and see which state it would be easier or is more receptive to these skills.
I see. What about those people who don't want to move out to regional areas, want to stay back where they are? So I have seen a lot of people, they've been staying over here for 6-7 years. It's very hard for them to move out to regional areas right now when they settle in. So is there any specific suggestions for those people who actually been over here for a long time in Sydney or Melbourne?
That's a very good question.
Okay.
So if you don't want to move out into regional areas, then perhaps the best thing is to accumulate as many points as possible. Get close to that 75 to 80 point score, and you can do skilled independent as opposed to state nominated.
I see. How long does a client need to stay in the regional area until they are actually a permanent resident in Australia? Is there any specific time frame?
So there is. So generally you would need to spend about anywhere up to about 2 years living and working in a regional area, and then you apply for permanent residency after that.
I see. Okay, all right. Also, another question that arises, what if a person also can be nominated by their employer under 482 sponsor or 186 or 187? Is it better for them to go for this visa opposed to the skilled migration right now?
So there are pros and cons to both. So for someone who has at least 2 years work experience, I would say that state employer sponsored visa is a good option because of the lower English requirement. But again, you are at the mercy of the employer, and you are dependent on them to help you with the permanent resident stage. Whereas skilled migration, yes, the initial requirements are a bit higher English, you need to pass the point score.
I see.
But at least it's down to your own skills instead.
That actually triggers another question. So what about those students want to study different subjects, and most of the time I realize that a lot of students come to us and say, hey, I want to study a subject that can get me a permanent residency. is there any such thing that actually can get a permanent residency, and you can actually starting right now, thinking of a subject that can give you permanent residency?
That's a really good question. I think it's $1 million question.
Yes.
So I would firstly I would encourage students to study what they're passionate about, because at the end of the day, permanent residency is a bonus. If you don't get it, then at least you studied something that you're passionate about. But if you are really looking at permanent residency from the outset, then I would encourage you to look at the medium to long-term list.
Yes.
Look at the occupations on there, see which one you would like to do, and study that. I would still caution you though, studying a bachelor in Australia can take 4 years maybe.
Yeah.
And by that time, migration law can change. So, but again, studying something that's on the medium to long-term list gives you the best chance. And there are things such as nursing, engineering is always a popular one, teaching, things like that have been on that list for quite some time.
Great. Bin, thank you so much for your helpful information. I believe our viewers will have a massive benefit from today's discussions on these migrations. This is the first video of many videos coming every month, and we'll be discussing more on specific visas like 482, 186, 187, or skill migrations, different perspective of migrations from regional areas to the states, new updates and so forth in every video with Mr. Bin together with us. So please keep in touch. Do comment and like and share so that other people also can get the same benefit as you are. And please let us know as well if we can help you to have more information in specific visas. If you're having any issues, you can come and see us in our office as well in the city, in Sydney, which is Suite 97, Level 9, 420 Pitt Street. Till the next video is coming up. Yeah, thank you for watching today.